we start? Okay. Can you get all of them if they ask questions? Okay. So today we're going to have a session to discuss about this FDA clinical trial. We're going to have one of our patients who had the procedure to share with you his experience. And then we're going to open up for questions so you have all the opportunity to ask questions. So I'm going to begin by telling you a little bit about the principle of this treatment. As we get older, as you know, that we lose our ability to read up close. And in the old days, we thought that was it. The fact that we're getting older, just like as certain as death in Texas, nothing you could do about it. But today we realize that with modern science, in some situations we can actually restore the accommodation or the aging or loss of reading ability in a patient. And scientists have discovered that as we get older, our lens inside of the eye keep on expanding or growing, but the size of the eyeball remains the same. So when you have a situation like this, then there's more and more crowding. So the lens is sort of, hey, I can do that for you, but you're not giving me enough room. So then lo and behold, doctors realized that using this procedure called skirt spacing procedure to create more room around the lens. So with this procedure, once we create more rooms around this growing lens, finally the lens says, you see, I told you, now I can do for you, So we find the patient's accommodation or ability to read actually is improved. So it's a wonderful technology that is currently in FDA clinical trial. That means its safety and efficacy has not been proven yet. That's why we're doing the research. If we know everything about it, we will not be doing the research. So it is important to keep in mind it's not FDA approved. It's in research clinical trial. It has more risks than a treatment that had already been approved by FDA. And however, that's how human beings learn about technology. We have a group of patients who wants to be the pioneers. They want to experience for their own benefit, also the benefit to the humankind, share their experience with us in how they are learning and how they're improving. So the experience you have through this having this procedure will not only benefit you, but also will be shared by doctors and scientists to improve the technology. The procedure is an outpatient procedure that we put in what we call skirt spacing segment on the wide part of your eye to expand the space. And typically, you're out of commission for 1 day, and there will be some soreness and some redness afterwards, sometimes lasting for many weeks. And then 3 weeks later, we have the second eye, and once it's done, then you start accommodating. You see that your reading ability is improved. As part of the FDA clinical criteria, you have to be 50 to 60, no prior eye surgeries, and you can see well distance without any glasses. And also, you have to be committed to be followed for 2 years. So that's a commitment, because it's not going to just benefit you, but also benefit science, benefit all of us to learn about this new technology. So it's a commitment that each patient goes through. And so that's basically the skirt spacing procedure. And today we're going to have an information session. We're going to have Steve. I appreciate very much, Steve, you come to share with us. Maybe, Steve, you can share with us a little bit about, first of all, how did you hear about the procedure? Second, what was the experience that you have gone through in having the procedure? And number 3, what were the things that you used not being able to do, now you can do after the procedure?
Thank you, Dr. Wang. I was first introduced about the procedure. You came and spoke to our Rotary Club down in Murfreesboro about a little over a year ago, and gave a great talk. And you mentioned this study was available, and you started outlining the criteria who would be eligible. And I said, well, I'm over 50. I've never worn glasses up until late in my 40s, and then I just needed them for reading. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm a candidate for this. So I came down to one of your sessions and listened to it, and I guess my name got on the waiting list, so I didn't hear anything for about, I guess 8 or 9 months. But I did get a call from your office and asked me to come in and did a pretty thorough evaluation. Checked me out for, I guess, on 2 or 3 different visits to make sure I was a good candidate for the surgery. And then with about 48 hours notice, I got an invitation to get to participate in the study. And so I'm a person who's never had any surgery in my life at all. So I was a little bit leery, and I'm a person that probably would have a hard time putting a contact lens in my eyes. So I was a little apprehensive about the surgery, but I had a lot of confidence in you and your ability and your reputation, and really thought it was going to be a great opportunity because in my business as a financial advisor, I have to meet with a lot of different people and look at a lot of numbers during the day and go from one computer screen to a book to a text to a proposal and that sort of thing. And it was a little frustrating every day not having my glasses when I needed them and going from office to office. And I thought, boy, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to wear those reading glasses anymore and I could be like I was back in my early 40s and 30s. And so I opted to go ahead and have the surgery, and it went just as you explained. Had the surgery on Thursday morning, and went well. Didn't have any apprehension at all about it. Had prayed about it and had a real peace about it. And next day I was able to come in and get my follow-up, and didn't do much for about 24 hours after the surgery. Stayed at home and just kind of sit around and watch TV. But within 24 hours, I was noticing that I could go outside, and even after the first eye was done, I could read the newspaper for the first time ever without glasses in a long time. So that was real exciting. And then I had the second eye done about 3 weeks later, and that went real well too. And just noticed a steady improvement. It wasn't an overnight thing. I mean, I didn't automatically just feel great right after the surgery. I did have a lot of swelling and redness, but followed the procedure that you recommended by keeping it iced and all that, and had the redness, but I can deal with that. So after about 6 or 7 weeks, I was doing great and doing good from here on out.
So what could you not do before the SSP procedure? Now you could do now after the SSP procedure.
Okay. Well, I couldn't read the newspaper for sure. I couldn't read a computer screen very well when I was sitting there trying to look at stuff on the computer. Couldn't read the back of a prescription bottle, an aspirin bottle, to see how many aspirin I needed to be taking. There were a lot of things that I just couldn't do anymore that I could have done 10 years ago that now I can do without any problems at all. And so it's been a major change in my lifestyle.
And how many years you feel like so the clock be turned back again?
Yeah. Well, as I said, I'm 56 years old, and my eyesight's better than it was when I was 40 years old. So that's really exciting, it wasn't a vanity issue as much as it was just a convenience issue. It gets frustrating when you're all the time having to wear the glasses and look for the glasses and try to remember where you left your glasses, and now I don't have to do that anymore. So that's really exciting for me.
Wow. So you're happy with your results?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, I had to answer a few questions the first couple of weeks after my surgery when people asked me, what in the world happened to your eyes? Because there was some swelling and some redness, and people would ask me about it, and it was kind of interesting because I had 3 or 4 people say, I wanted to have that surgery too, but I just couldn't get up enough courage to do that, or I wasn't a candidate for that surgery. So I had several people ask me about it once they found out what I was doing, and I had somebody ask me if I had it done for cosmetic purposes, and I said, oh no, I wanted to be able to read without glasses again. So just very pleased with it, very pleased. Getting better every day.
So you would do it again if you...
Oh yeah, most definitely. The first couple hours after you come out of the surgery, you don't feel all that great, but within 24 hours, you feel good, and I would definitely have it done again. I would highly recommend it.
And thank you, Steve, for not only going through the procedure, experiencing it, and be brave enough because it's in FDA trial, but also your experience. I mean, for the 2 years follow-up process, will all be documented in human archives, the human experience, how we learn while attempting to turn back the clock, So we have the opportunity to have any of you have any questions, you all prospective patients. First of all, questions, how did you all hear about today's seminar, about this flyer? Internet.
It's on the back of the Murfreesboro Post or something like that.
It's a local newspaper. Okay, I see. And you currently do need reading glasses to read?
Well, that's my question. Is I can't read far away and I can't read it close. Does that still qualify, or is that?
So I will repeat your question for the so you cannot see far away.
Well, like reading, it's blurry.
It's
far
blurry.
away, but up close, I definitely can't.
Up close, you definitely can. Definitely need glasses. I can tell you that based on that, you most likely have some degree of what we call hyperopia. That means you're slightly farsighted. And on top of that, you have what we call presbyopia, meaning your eyes are also getting a little older. We need to check you thoroughly because it depends on the degree of your farsightedness. Some patients have too much farsightedness and no longer candidate for this particular FDA trial, and some patients still have the farsightedness within the range. So I think it's possible. We need to check you thoroughly. But most likely, if it's a farsightedness is lesser than a certain degree, you will be able to qualify. Yeah. Otherwise, we have other treatments can help you too. Any other questions?
Since I'm over 50 and been married, I haven't had reading glasses for the last 10 years or so. My eye doctor seems to think I need bifocals, so he's put me bifocals. If I never put my glasses on in the morning, I can see distant beautifully all day long. But if I wear my glasses, the longer I wear them, the tighter my eyes get over the day. So you'll see me most of the time with them in my hand. Is that something different, or is it just because he's overprescribed my glasses? And
good question. So that pair of glasses you wear mainly for reading, though, right? Mainly for reading.
That's all, really, if I don't put them on, that's the only thing I have. I've got readers at home that I use on the computer screen. But when I'm
so
at
this
work
has the
or when I'm out
bifocal.
public, I wear these.
And this bifocal, the top segment has nothing. Just
It has
very little.
Very little.
Okay.
It's enough that makes my eyes tired from wearing them, but
Okay.
I don't think I need it.
It's very common to have the symptoms you're relating to. That basically in this age range, sometimes we can tough it out for a period of time without reading glasses, and sometimes we do need help. Depends on the amount of reading you do, etc., and also age and everything. And so what this procedure will do is it doesn't affect your distance because it does not implant the segment on the cornea. It's on the outside, so it does not affect what you have. That's the one of the most important features of this procedure. That is, does not affect what you have. Most of the eyes procedures could affect what you have, whether it's LASIK surgery or cataract surgery. All these potentially could affect what you have. This procedure, because it does not touch the central part of your vision, the cornea, it does not affect what you have. Also, it is reversible, meaning if a patient does not like it, we can remove the segment. But today, that I'll tell you that all the patients I've done, I've yet had one patient that want to have the segment removed, and we have not done that yet. So that's a good record to show that, that the patient satisfaction rate is very high. So what you're relating to me, your symptom is the tiredness of your muscle. This is very common at this age. So what this procedure will do is kind of strengthen your ability to accommodate and will relieve some of your problems. Throw away the reading glasses, yeah. Do you have any questions?
So how many people have been in your study here in
Okay.
Nashville?
The question is how many people have been studied. This is a national study, multi-center, and currently the FDA study requires 333 patients. 333, I think 330 patients. And study is about 2/3 into it now, so we have about 200 so still have 100 also to go. And the study probably will be closing sometime in 2012. So all the patients will be recruited, and then we follow, including Steve, for 2 years. Yeah, so right now we're still in the recruitment period for additional patients.
So what are the parameters you're using for getting your,
The criteria,
yes.
50 to 60,
Uh-huh.
no prior eye surgeries, and does not wear anything for
Right.
distance other than just readers for reading.
But why would you choose him over me or
Good
something
question.
like that?
We first come, first serve to put on the list, on the waiting list. Okay, so we require a educational interaction like this because it's FDA clinical trial, has potential risks, and it's a very strictly conducted clinical trial. So we want patients to come to an education session like this to hear the experience of patients who had it done, and then hear about not only the plus but also potential risk and the experimental nature of this procedure. So some patients wouldn't even come to a session like this, they wouldn't even be put on the list, because we feel it's a very important step of education process. So once you attend a seminar like this, you hear about it, you start to thinking about the procedure. Then once you attend the seminar, your name will be on the list. And then what we do is we just go down the list. Okay. Sometimes the list could move very slow because if every patient call, they're still interested, then we come in for evaluation and see. If sometimes the list move very fast, because if we call someone several months ago, they say, "Oh, I was interested, I'm no longer interested." Then we move to the next patient. And then if once you're called, then we have to go through several runs of tests. And some patients get disqualified in the process. FDA study is a very strict, idealized set of patients. They don't want to have any other problem or compound or complicate the results. So patient needs to be healthy, eye healthy, and many other. So we need to do all these checkups to make sure. So many patients, they don't qualify in the process of the measurements. And we try to find some other way to help their vision, but not this FDA clinical trial. So to answer your question, who gets first? First is who comes to the seminar, gets through the educational process first, and then we just move down the list.
So when is the next seminar?
Seminar is once a month.
Once-
Yeah, first.
So this is the seminar?
This is a seminar.
Okay.
You attend
I
the
thought we had to
seminar.
go to something else
No,
then.
no. You attend the seminar.
Okay.
And you heard about the discussion. You have met patient, heard about patient testimonials, and then your name will be on the list. You email us, and then you can periodically get update, where you are in terms of when will they come. And so we really appreciate all you've come in, and as I said, it's very exciting new technology, and as all new technology goes, has a potential risk and complications. And so it's important, this is just the beginning of the educational process to learn about this US FDA clinical trial for what we call skirt spacing procedure, or SSP. And I want to thank you also, Steve, for coming share your experience. You're one of the pioneers in this field that, as I said, your experience will not only benefit you, but also benefit all of us in the continued process to understand our aging process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.